So Jake, why don't you tell us what games you've been playing this week? What you thought of them?
Been playing Hellblade. I've been having a really good time. Fantastic. It's been great. I've been having a lot of fun with it. A great game. And do you know what I like about it? Good story as well.
That's
good
brilliant.
Story.
That's a really positive message. I've been playing The Long Dark. I've been really enjoying it. Amazing. It's been jolly good. It's been fantastic. Brilliant.
You know, a lot of people have been saying this week that this channel is getting quite negative and we're not really being positive at all. What do you think we should say to them?
We really respect your opinion and your criticism. We take it all on board. We like to have a balanced view of all things, and we understand where you're coming from with your grievances. Thank you very much.
First up this week, Lawbreakers launched this week on PC and PS4, and according to GitHype, the player count isn't holding up too well. Despite very positive reviews and being developed by industry veteran Cliff Bleszinski, Lawbreakers has seemingly failed to find its audience. The fast-paced multiplayer FPS topped out at just 3,000 concurrent players on launch day, down 60% from the open beta. But daily peaks since release day are already falling, and the game is averaging under 1,000 concurrent players every 24 hours. Even Battleborn managed to crack 12,000 peak players at launch, and that game is widely considered a flop. So it's sad to see Lawbreakers doing so badly when by most accounts it is a genuinely good game and it's being sold for a discounted price to boot. However, Lawbreakers appears to have suffered from a complete lack of marketing with not much advertising, and there has barely been any discussion about it online. Originally, Lawbreakers was set to be a free-to-play game, so maybe if the game doesn't reach a wider audience, then it'll soon end up going down this route again.
So this news comes as a bit of a surprise, really. We expected it to do better. We were hoping that it would do better since it's Cliff Bleszinski, and he is one of the most outspoken developers in the industry at the moment, who goes against some of the bad practices, let's say, in the industry. You know, we want him to do well. We want his game to do well, but unfortunately you guys aren't liking the game or not playing it, or there's just too much saturation of hero shooters, I guess.
That's the thing, because like we played it, and even though it wasn't for us, we realised like it's a good example of what it is. So it's like even people that aren't necessarily going to buy it can't really say it's shit. It's not. People that are all playing it, or people that played the beta, are all saying it was good. But I guess no one just put their money where their mouth was and bought it, because like you're saying, there's lots of free-to-play options, Paladins and Battleborn, and then there's of course Overwatch, which isn't free, but who doesn't own that game, you know? Bet loads of people in the comments are like, I don't own anything other than The Witcher 3. The point is, if you're into Twitch shooting and stuff like that, you've probably got one of the other options, and it seems like a damn shame because on paper, awesome idea, and it played well.
The fact that it is an online-only game, but the price reflects that. That was one of the biggest selling points put forward by Cliff Bleszinski. You don't get a single-player game, so you get a price that reflects that. So that's what we think about the situation. Let us know what you think about this, Lawbreakers. Do you think that you'll pick it up in future when it's on discount, or will you just wait until if it does eventually go down the free-to-play model, will you pick it up then? Let us know down in the comments. So next up, modding. It's awesome. It gives players the ability to customize their games in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways, like replacing the dragons in Skyrim with Thomas the Tank Engine levels of weird. But recently Capcom issued a DMCA takedown notice to a couple of notable Street Fighter modders. Brutal Ace and Calidante666 had been developing alternate costumes for use in Street Fighter V, and both were offering early access to their mods if you supported them on Patreon. But Capcom took issue with the mods being supported by pledges, and some of the mods even contained copyrighted content from the likes of Marvel and DC. The modders were told they had to shut down their Patreon pages and cease any further modding activity supported by Patreon donations. However, it wasn't only Capcom who took issue with the paid mods. Brutal Ace said he received considerable backlash on social media, with the community being unhappy with the idea of paid mods. In response to this, Brutal Ace announced he would be taking a break from the modding scene altogether.
Sounds like he needs a Bethesda Creation Club.
Yeah,
I'm sure
Bethesda Creation Club.
But it's true though, isn't it? Like, if you want money for your mods, there is a way to do it now. The fact that you're using copyrighted shit, you know you can't do that. You must know. And then to ask for money for it, I know it's only for early access and stuff like that. You're not surprised, are you? Or are you? I mean, I'm not surprised. It's pretty obvious this was going to get taken down, especially if you make money. If you're a modder, you can hide so much behind the fact that you're not profiting off it. But now, when you are, you've got no legs to stand on, really. No legs.
I mean, this was only early access to the mods. They weren't actually selling the mods. This was community support for the work that they were doing. It wasn't actually a sales exchange. That's what makes the difference. So you can look at it in two ways, and I'm kind of on the fence with this. It's an interesting topic, I guess, with all this thing with paid mods, like blown up recently with Skyrim and Bethesda and all that. I don't know how I feel about it. Let us know how you feel about it down in the comments. As it feels like it's part of the script, like.
Good luck. In other fan creation news, Milton Guasti, the developer behind the acclaimed Project AM2R, or another Metroid 2 remake, has been hired as a professional level designer. Guasti came to prominence for his work on AM2R, which was acclaimed by fans and critics alike. Shortly after Guasti released AM2R, Nintendo issued a cease and desist order and the project had to be shut down. This was probably because Nintendo were working on their own Metroid 2 remake, which at the time was unannounced. However, Moon Studios, the developers of Ori and the Blind Forest, recognised Guasti's talent and they hired him to be a level designer on the upcoming Ori and the Will of the Wisps. After having to shut down his passion project, it's good to see Guasti being featured in some positive news and his talent being rewarded.
It is kind of a minefield out there for modders, isn't it? 2 stories in a row where people have issued DMCA takedowns for their work, and we featured a story recently where a guy did a World of Warcraft server mod that took it back to its original state. He took 4 years or 5 years doing it, and he got like DMCA'd within 5 hours. It's a minefield out there, so it is good to see when modders like this actually get rewarded for their hard work, get recognised for the good work that they're doing out there, and get jobs out.
Yeah, getting a genuine job. It's not the first time this thing's happened, obviously. Dean Hall, who made the Armour 2 mod DayZ, was then hired by the people that made Armour to work on the standalone for DayZ, Bohemia, right? So yeah, 2 modern stories. One ended with the guy leaving mods for a while, the other ended with the guy getting an actual proper job.
Next up, some genius at Activision's PR department had cooked up what is surely the greatest partnership of all time. For Destiny 2, Activision and Bungie have teamed up with Rockstar Energy drinks and Pop-Tarts for exclusive Destiny 2 themed products. The Rockstar Energy drink and Pop-Tarts will feature Destiny branding and will contain codes for in-game XP boosts. Activision PR said, whether you're pushing back against ghouls invading foot soldiers or forcing your opponents to eat crow in PvP, Rockstar and Pop-Tarts are a perfect complement for your adventures in Destiny 2 and beyond. It sounds like a really kiddie way to try and sell something, isn't it? If you're trying to fight these like ghouls, or if you're trying to, what did you say, eat people to eat crow, you need Pop-Tarts and you need a fizzy drink. Like, hey, who's going to buy that bullshit? It's like aimed at 5-year-olds.
You know it's going to do well, though. We can say all we want, we know that it's going to sell well.
Remember what happened with Jeff Keighley and Halo back in 2012? You know, the video where he was surrounded by Mountain Dew and Doritos and it looked like he was being held hostage? Well, this just sounds like the Dorito Pope all over again.
Jeff Keighley did some promo work for Halo 4. It was like an interview and it was so much product placement. He was surrounded by Doritos and Mountain Dew, and it was a similar thing. It was like, drink Mountain Dew or have Doritos, and you got double XP on Halo. And they were asking him like, oh, do you think it's a good thing? And he's like, yes, it's great that Doritos and Mountain Dew can offer this experience to people. It was like an ISIS hostage video or something, but with more calories.
I'm not sure you can say that.
I don't know, yeah. It's kicked off a whole thing actually about the credit of game journalism. You know, these game journalists have been bought out. He's been paid to say, oh, this is a really great idea. Caused a whole fuss, and Eurogamer wrote an article about him saying that he was being a little sellout, and then they got sued for libel, or threatened to be sued. So the writer of the article had to leave. It's a whole shitstorm with product placement.
But when you put it on f***ing Pop-Tarts, when you put it on like Rockstar Energy drinks, it needs to be on a Yorkie or something, like something manly, something like grown up.
Something to promote healthy eating. What's celery doing in the games industry? In Doritos for days, Master Chief having a munch. So it's been a while since Valve made a game, and they made a surprising announcement this year at the Dota 2 Invitational, announcing Artifact, the Dota card game. In a moment of collective disappointment, Valve showed off a teaser for Artifact, which is a competitive collectible card game based on characters from Dota 2. This announcement was met with a resounding People were understandably annoyed when the first game announced by Valve since Counter-Strike Global Offensive was nothing more than a card game. You could say the card game market is already oversaturated with the likes of Hearthstone, Elder Scrolls Legends, Gwent, Fable Fortune, and, well, you get the idea.
So at this Dota event, they were making an announcement, and then people got upset because it was another Dota game. I mean, what were they expecting?
Yeah, Half-Life 3, come on!
They're not going to announce that at a Dota event, are they? But maybe like Dota sequel or expansion or something like that they were expecting. It was funny that people got all like butthurt and disappointed by this. Oh, it's a card game.
You can hear, right, honestly, you can hear everyone in the audience try and be positive, but they go, is well funny. My favourite clip this week.
So finally this week, for those of you who still give a shit, there's another big update to No Man's Sky. The update, dubbed Atlas Rises, adds more cohesive narrative to the sci-fi exploration game. In addition to the story elements, the update adds fast travel portals which players can use to quickly transport themselves around different planets. The update comes after the Waking Title alternate reality game, which had the No Man's Sky community working together to decipher cryptic messages. The community effort resulted in the formation of the new online community known as Citizen Science Division, which apparently has around 250,000 members now. And the man who needs no introduction, Sean Murray, said of the community, "It's been an honour to watch, but this is just the beginning. Whether you followed Waking Titan or not, we welcome anyone to sign up to the Citizen Science Division. Our journey continues. Thank you for this year. We hope you enjoy what comes next." I hope I enjoy what comes next too, because I'm still waiting for my full game. I'm excited about jumping into. I haven't tried it yet, but apparently it's out now because it's Sunday, although we're filming this beforehand. It's there for us to try, and hopefully this goes a little further of the way to repairing the damage that they did on launch when they released not even a quarter of a game. So hopefully this fleshes out what should have been in the first place. Yeah, I mean, we don't know the details of it yet, like I said, because we're filming this before. Yeah, what do you want to see in the game?
I know this sounds dead obvious, yeah, but if you want to build a community rather than just make a forum, I know a good way of making a community on a game. Make it f***ing multiplayer. Like you promised you was going to a f***ing year ago. Don't talk to me about origin story. It's a year.
You'd be eating your words if they actually have put multiplayer in by the time.
If that's how it's gone out and there's multiplayer, I will not appear in a video again, I think.
So where do you stand on the No Man's Sky thing, the Lawbreakers thing, the modding thing, anything else that we've covered in today's video? Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are new around here. There's another video for you to watch on the screen around about there. Support us on Patreon if you're awesome. And we'll see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.